Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Tea Tactics and Tenacity. I am your host, Jenn Herman with Jenn's Trends, and I do have a filter on today. I'm checking out the filter because I'm no makeup, so I thought I'd throw on a light filter. Hello, Kayla is here as well. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to handle negative comments on your posts. So as everybody pops in, I'm just going to leave that comment up here and pin that. We've got Flores Bear, Amara is here, Headpiece Com is here as well. Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. I'm just putting up that the topic is, if I could learn to type, how to handle negative comments on your posts. All right, let me get that up there. Let me pin that so everybody knows when they pop in what we're talking about today. We've also got Jonathan here live. Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. It's a little later than usual. I don't have my tea because I already drank my tea. It was one of those mornings we had to get out and do a bunch of things and run around, and so doing it a little bit late today, but glad that you can be here and hang out with me today for today's episode. As I mentioned, we're going to talk about how to handle negative comments on your post. This question was submitted by Maggie. Every question that we answer here on Tea Tactics and Tenacity is a question submitted by a viewer just like you. Not things I want to answer, things you want answered. So if there's something you want answered, if there's something that you're tired of Googling or you haven't found the answer you want, leave it in a comment here or send me a DM on Instagram and let me know what question you want me to answer on a future episode of Tea Tactics and Tenacity, and I will add it to my list. So the question, again, how do you handle negative comments? Now, there's a lot of different ways depending on the type of comment. So let's first talk obvious troll comments, because you're going to get the super, obvious trolls. They're not even related to the content itself, or if they are, they're so obnoxious. Something, like about your physical appearance or the way your voice sounds, or something that's completely irrelevant to the quality of the content, to what it is that you're sharing. So those ones, there's two options. One, block and delete. Just bye, Felicia, just let them go. The other thing is you can just ignore those. Those really obnoxious ones you can ignore. Anybody else seeing them is going to know they're a troll comment. And, they do say don't feed the trolls. So you can do one of those two things responsibly. The third option, which I do not recommend, but that I am guilty of and that I've seen plenty of people do, is to feed the trolls. And you can respond and, say something like, well, thank you for the free or the additional engagement on my post, and make a comment about it, or, and say, well, unfortunately, unless I have vocal surgery, I can't change my voice. So you can respond if you really want to. Sometimes certain trolls just need to be shut down, and that's your choice to do so or not. That will depend on your brand. If you are a very corporate brand, if you are, a team of people managing it, feeding the trolls, probably not a responsible decision. Or if you are more of a personal brand where you kind of feel comfortable coming out and putting that in that capacity, then you can take that opportunity to kind of feed the trolls. And Jonathan just said, or let your audience handle. And yes, this is one of those things where if you've got a good dedicated audience, that is a great way. Again, if it's super troll comment, depending on the level of it, again, most people will ignore, but a lot of people will jump in and be like, you should be lucky to learn from them. Or, if you've looked at more than one of their videos, that's not what they normally do, and they're amazing, and da-da-da. So a lot of times your audience will chime in if there are super negative comments, and they can be incredibly helpful. So that's if they're, obviously troll comments. We're going to kind of not talk more about that. If you have situations where you have negative comments that are legitimate complaints, whether it's about your product, it's about your service, it's about response, it's about something that actually is a customer experience with your brand. Those things we want to be much more specific in how we handle those. If you've not read Hug Your Haters from Jay Baer, I highly recommend you check out that book. That's Jay Baer, so Jay and last name Baer. And he has a book called Hug Your Haters. He's had that book out for a few years now. He's done another, I think, at least one or two since that book. But it's a great example of embracing the haters and not ignoring them. If it is a legitimate concern or comment about your brand, you do not want to leave those unchecked. You do not want to leave that so that A, that person doesn't have a response, and B, everyone else sees that you're not responding to the negativity. If you're only ever responding to positive comments, it looks like you're intentionally avoiding any sort of actual customer service opportunity. So you do want to make sure that your team, whoever is managing your Instagram account, your other social media accounts, whatever it is, has the capacity within customer service capabilities to respond to and engage with those comments from a customer service perspective. So coming out, apologizing, say, we're so sorry that you had that experience. Please send us a DM and we'll be happy to take this up with you personally. Or by all means, feel free to call or feel free to stop by and ask for so-and-so, and we will be happy to discuss this with you personally. So you want to get the negative comments addressed, and you want to pull it off the internet. You do not want to have your negative engagement conversations happening in a public forum. So someone comes in and says, this is the worst product I ever bought. It immediately fell apart. It fell apart in the wash, and I'll never be able to wear it. This was a waste of money. You do not want to respond with, we're so sorry you had that experience. We're happy to send you a replacement. In which case they come back and say, I don't want a replacement. It's going to fall apart too. And you're like, we're so sorry that you feel that way. Would you like a store credit? Like, the more that you're having that conversation in public, the more that you are giving everybody else an opportunity to either A, jump in on the conversation, or B, partake in similar behavior and be like, well, great, I'm going to put up here that I bought it and it was a horrible experience, and you're going to give me a free one, or you're going to give me store credit. We don't want to showcase that information publicly to be taken advantage of online. The goal is to clearly, quickly reply, engage with them and say, we are so sorry, and then pull them offline, get them into your DMs, get them to call, come by the store, whatever it is, so that you can have that dialogue and conversation with them on a personal note. But it does address it with them. And if they choose not, like if you've publicly said, send me a DM, or I'm sending you a DM, to follow up on this, if you're putting that on your public socials and they come back and they continue to say that it hasn't been handled, that you haven't engaged with them, or they still hate your product, your audience can see that you've tried to rectify the situation, and this is somebody who just wants to be upset. This is somebody who just wants to complain. But if you aren't acknowledging it publicly to say, hey, we're so sorry, let's talk about this over here, no one knows if you've ever responded. You may have sent them a DM, you may have reached out to them, but nobody knows that you did. So it looks like you are ignoring that public opportunity, and it looks like you are not handling your negative comments. So you always want to make sure you address it publicly, but handle it privately. And Caleb was just saying, I was just going to say, we take those offline. Yes, always get them offline when you can, as early as possible in that conversation and transaction, so that you get them to a safe place where you can have that dialogue. And if they want to be angry and upset and you can have the dialogue back and forth to get them to a happy place, then it's all happening, but offline where no one else can see that engagement. So going back to Jay's book, Jay Baer has the book, Hug Your Haters. He talks about how, if you can get the people who are angry and upset to become loyalists, that's the biggest conversion. It's easy to keep happy people happy. It is not easy to make angry people happy. So if you can take the people who are complaining, who are unhappy, who are unsatisfied, and give them an incredibly positive experience on the other end, they become your loyalists. They become the ones who actually rave about your brand. They're the ones who will continue to work with you because you righted the wrong. You just didn't do right across the board, but you even righted the wrong. And it can create better actual relationships with those customers. So we do want to make sure that you are responding to and engaging with them in a way that shows publicly you've responded, but then have that personalized conversation. Use their name. Address their concern. This is not time for copy paste corporate, we are so sorry that you've experienced this. Please call our number at da-da-da-da-da and a customer service agent will be happy to talk to you. That's not responsive, right? We want something that says, hey, so-and-so, I am so sorry that you had that experience. I understand how, that would be incredibly frustrating when you bought that for a special event and now you can't use it. Is there anything we can do to make this right for you? Personalize it. Give them the opportunity to have a dialogue and conversation with you in a way that makes them feel like they've actually been heard and that you're not just regurgitating this through a chat bot, through copy and paste jargon. Jonathan said, does Instagram still post if you replied by DM to a comment publicly? So if you reply with a DM and send them a DM, there's nothing publicly that shows you've sent them a DM. So you can send them the DM, like you can reply to their comment with a DM, but nothing publicly shows that you took that action. So you can do that and then always respond as well. So you're going to reply with a message and you're going to reply to the comment where you said, hey, I've just sent you a DM. We're so sorry you had this experience. Please check your DM so we can help you out personally. So you always want to make sure that you add that personalized response to the comment in addition to sending the DM. Okay, so those are kind of the primary ways that you want to look at handling those negative comments. You are also going to have situations where people are going to come into your DMs, right? They're going to reply to a story, they're going to put, troll comments up there, and you're going to get things that are just going to straight up hurt you, right? You're going to have things where people are just rude, where people are inconsiderate, and these are hard things to deal with. This is one of the, the hard things about being in social media, about being online. This is one of these situations where, I can't remember who I was talking to. I was talking to somebody the other day and they were like, look, I don't want my brand, I don't want to be the face of my brand online because I just don't want to deal with the negativity. I don't want to deal with all the judgment that I know is going to come my way. And I'm like, I get it. I understand. Having all those negative comments can be very hard. These are things you want to build up to. But you're going to get so much more positivity. You're going to get so much more encouragement. You're going to get so many more opportunities to connect with your audience and build a positive experience for your brand that you don't get to do if you hide behind the fear of being online. So you kind of have to be prepared. The negative comments will come. I remember when I got my first troll comment. It was probably like 3 years into. Like, it wasn't like I got like a really, bad negative press early on. But I remember having... I guess probably about 3 years, and it was a total troll comment. And I was like, I've been trolled! I made it! It was worth celebrating because it was like, finally I'm at a platform where enough people are seeing it, where the people who have nothing better to do than to complain are hanging out on my content, and they're complaining about it. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Doesn't mean you don't take it personally. A lot of times people will do these things, and it will be very personal, right? They'll come after you for your parenting. They'll come after you for your relationship, decisions, all these things. It can be a very personal attacks against you when they make these negative comments. So have a safe space. Have somebody that's, whether it's a colleague, whether it's your spouse, whether it's a friend, somebody who you can talk these things through. Take these negative comments. You know how like a couple of the late night shows will do, like, when celebrities read negative tweets about them because they're so obnoxious. You kind of want to do something similar where you have a safe space where you can talk these things through and you can actually engage with somebody who loves you, respects you, can remind you that those things are not true, but allow you to look at it from a lighthearted perspective. You have to be able to take these with a grain of salt, and you have to be able to turn these into something that does not eat away at you, because they will. They will absolutely pick apart at you if you continue to let them be that negative voice, because we all have the negative voices. We all have those negative things in our mind, and if we're letting those trolls get to us, it's very hard to continue on. So have that safe space where you can go to process those negative comments, screenshot them, share them in a group chat, talk with your friend over the weekend over a glass of wine or whatever it is, but find that safe place where you can engage about the negative so it doesn't eat away at you, and just just anticipate that the negative comments will come. All right, so that was what I wanted to share with you today in regards to the question submitted by Maggie, which was how to handle negative comments online. If you are popping in late, feel free to go back and watch the replay. I'll have it up when we are done recording today's episode of Tea Tactics and Tenacity. And this is part of what we talk about in my membership program, Profit Your Profile. So we do live training in there every month, and we talk about these sorts of things, not specifically training on this topic, but these are the things that we talk about in like office hours, where someone will come in and ask questions. This we had office hours this week. It was so great. I love office hours. It's an open Zoom call. People come on. We usually have a handful of people. So there's, maybe 4, 5, 6 people that pop in for office hours. It's every month, and you get to ask me any question you want. We do not record it, so it's a safe space. You're not going to be, have those comments live on the internet forever. And the members get to go, we go round robin, so whoever came on first asks their question, and we go through things exactly like this. Like, hey, Jen, I came across this with my insights. Or, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. We had a member who's got a relatively new business, new Instagram account, and she was asking, what should she focus on first as she tries to grow her brand and everything else. And it's such a fun opportunity to have conversation, but real dialogue, not me just talking to the camera, but having real dialogue with our members and giving you actual strategic advice. It's one of my favorite parts of Profit Your Profile. It's one of the members' favorite aspects of Profit Your Profile, to be able to just hang out for an hour and ask questions and learn from the other members. And a lot of times when someone else asks a question, it'll prompt you to be like, oh, well, what should I do on my account for that? And it's a chance for me to get to know your business, know what you do, get to know the ins and outs, and be able to then support you personally on your journey through Instagram and all your marketing. Had Peace Calmas here, Marie, she said office hours are the best time of the month. We love it. It's so much fun. It's girl talk. We chat, we talk about personal lives, but we dive into the strategy that matters most to you for your Instagram strategy. And Kayla is here as well, another member that we have in Profit Your Profile. So if you want to find out more about that, if you want to get in on office hours, by all means, go to profityourprofile.com, where you can find out more about that and getting that personalized support every single month, working with yours truly. So T-Tactics and Tenacity, we talk about one Instagram tactic, and we talk about tenacity and something, that's going on in your life, something that's going on in my life, things that you can relate to. So what I want to talk about today is not a new concept, but it's something that I've become this is kind of one of the things I'm honing in on. I've been doing a lot more podcasts. I'm going to be doing an event coming up next month all around more about business, less about the Instagram side of things, but more about business. And one of the things that keeps coming up is the phrase I've come up with is, you can have it all, but you can't do it all. And what I mean by that is, as your business grows, you need help. You cannot do it all by yourself. And help can come in a variety of ways. So it may be help in your business. As your business grows, you may get to the point where you need a VA. You need somebody who can help be your assistant to do some of the menial tasks. You may need to hire an accountant or a bookkeeper. You may need to hire somebody that's going to help do your taxes, or these sorts of things. As your business grows, you need to hire some sort of resource. It could be that they do 2 hours a week. It could be that they do a flat rate per month. Whatever it is, you need these additional resources to help you grow your business, because you cannot do it all as your business continues to grow. But that help can come in other ways too. It might be hiring a house cleaner, somebody that comes to your house once or twice a month to clean your house, so that you don't have to spend your weekend cleaning the house, but that you can be working on your business. It may come from, hiring either somebody who can help you meal prep, or relying on a meal delivery service so that you can spend less time cooking and do more with, whether it's your business, so that you can spend more time with your family, and balancing all of these things out. So I'm a firm believer that you absolutely can have it all. You can do it all. You can have the career, the family, the travel, the lifestyle, whatever it is that your all is, you absolutely can have it all, but you cannot do it all. You cannot have it all. Motorcycle driving by. You cannot have it all if you are trying to do it all. You cannot be everything in your business by yourself. You cannot be everything as a parent by yourself. You cannot be everything in your household if you are trying to do all these other things. There has to be a balance. And so you do get to the point where you have to expand and rely on those other resources. So that is my encouragement to you. If you're feeling that overwhelm, yes, you do have to get to a place where you have the resources and the finances to do it, but understand that when you get those resources, it allows you to make more money. Because when you're not doing the bookkeeping, if numbers aren't your thing, hire someone to do your bookkeeping, so you can do the creative, so you can do the sales, you can do whatever it is that you need to do to build the business, while someone else is doing that menial task in the background that is not your area of expertise. It allows you to make more when you expand and get that additional resource. Jonathan's saying, yep, get the housekeeper. It's the best money spent on my business. Agreed 100%. I love my cleaning lady. She comes once a month, usually once a month. Sometimes I push it for 5 or 6 weeks, but she comes in, she cleans my house, right? I don't gotta do it. I don't gotta waste the time, and I hate cleaning in the first place. I'm like, I will do laundry every freaking day if it means I never have to wash another dish in my life. I hate cleaning. I despise it. So having my cleaning lady come in and clean the kitchens and clean the bathroom it's one less thing I have to do, and it gives me more time with my daughter. It means that I can work later on a Tuesday night working, knowing that I'll spend the weekend with her because I don't have to clean the house on the weekend. So that help can come in a variety of ways. So remember, you can have it all, but you cannot do it all. It's okay to ask for help, and that help can come from a spouse, a colleague. You could, if you've already got a couple people on your team and you're like, I really don't want to be doing this task anymore. Is this something someone else wants to take on? And we can do, a swap for different roles, something you take on that gives you more creative flexibility, and they can take on a task that you have that they actually enjoy doing. Some people love bookkeeping. Some people don't. Is that a task that you can swap off with somebody on your team, or hiring somebody? So that's my tenacity tip for you this week, is to focus on ways that you can find more resources to help you get further ahead in your business, so that you can make more money and be more successful by relying on others around you. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me today. It was great to see you. I'm on my way to the beach. It is a gorgeous, sunshiny day here in San Diego. So taking my daughter, my boyfriend, and we're all going down to the beach, going to have an amazing afternoon in the sunshine. Thank you for spending the afternoon with me. Have a wonderful, amazing, productive week ahead, and we will see you again next week for Tea Tactics and Tenacity, where we answer a question submitted by a viewer just like you. If there's a question you want answered, send me a DM or leave a comment here, and I will add it to my list for a future episode of Tea Tactics and Tenacity. Bye, everybody.